Jon. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Technically Correct. We're Geeks Who Drink, and here's how this whole thing works. In the first round, our director AJ will give us some questions from the Geeks Who Drink archives. We panelists will have 2 minutes to debate and finally choose an answer for the group. At the end of the 2 minutes, we'll decide on our final answer, and AJ will tell us if we're right. Lather, rinse, repeat. If you're watching this live, we are also watching the chat. Please chime in if you have anything witty or interesting to say about the question, but whatever you do, don't shout out the answers. We can be wrong all by ourselves. Before we get started, let's meet our panel. Back this week from the ABQ, it's Kohen. From Seattle, it's Pio.
Everyone be cool. My mom's watching. All right? Cool.
Pio's mom is the number one reason we still do this show.
Yeah.
Thanks, and from Chicago, it's youth correspondent Naaim. Naaim, what's up with the youth today?
That's a great couch boy. There's the couch boy thing on TikTok. It might be couch guy. I forget. It's a whole thing. In fact, I wish I hadn't said it because you don't want to know anything about it.
All right, we'll just go.
Yeah, just like don't. If you don't know about it, don't learn about it. Please don't. Don't.
Is he cheating?
So that's what people are thinking, but there's no evidence to really support it. It's just like, 17-year-olds. You remember like when they caught the Boston Marathon bomber on Reddit? It feels kind of like that with much lower stakes.
But like the reason is that we're all just rooting for couch guy's girlfriend. So like it's an act of love.
That is true. Listen, I think he's probably a bad boyfriend. I just don't know if he's cheating or not.
I feel I like how we started the show with, here's the thing, don't learn about it. Don't know. This is a quiz, but here's something.
Answering questions and not learning anything new.
I was not expecting to be asked about what's going on with the youth, and I was like, here's the first thing that pops in my head. Oh wait, I wish I hadn't said that. That's not a thing that I want to know about.
I would explain it to you, but I'd like to leave some mystery for the viewers. So you guys can go and talk to TikTok and look. That's what the kids are on.
You can go on the TikToks and
that clock app.
My favorite song by Keisha.
Keisha with the $sign in her name.
The $sign in her name.
Oof. It's gonna be wild today. Without further ado, AJ, give us our first question.
It helps a lot if I make my sound live. My first question of the evening for your panelists. The film Perfect Bid documents one man's obsession with winning big on what game show?
I thought this was about to be eBay.
I knew he thought it was eBay. He's just trying to get the lowest price for an iPad.
Did they not make an eBay related show? They must have. Come on.
No point. That's got to be in like 2003 that nobody watched, right?
Come on, they made a Geeks Who Drink show. I'm sure they made an eBay one.
That's a lie.
What? I watched every episode.
Yeah.
At minimum,
you were the one.
Episode of.
Listen, I didn't watch it when it was live. I watched it later. So
there must be an episode of My Strange Addiction. About
there's
eBay.
gotta be, right? Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, that's
addicted to eBay.
I feel like all kinds of things.
I know.
On the other hand,
it's too lame to be on that show.
I do feel like, because they do those game shows like now. There's like a Candy Crush show. There's a Fruit Ninja show. There's a Frogger show on Peacock.
What?
Shazam? Yeah. It's Damon Wayans Jr. is one of the hosts of it. I kind of want to watch it because I like Damon Wayans Jr.
I didn't even know there was a Damon Wayans Jr. To be honest,
you never saw Wayans Brothers?
No, that's Damon Wayans Sr.
The senior, right?
Damon Wayans Jr. is the one who was in New Girl and Happy Endings.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Wayans. Like if you ever assume, like someone ever asked
Marlon,
like,
Eric,
is this a Wayans.
No, there's way more than that.
There's Waylon Jennings, I believe. Right?
Sure.
Okay, we got a question. If it's
There's
about
more
bidding,
Wayans than there are Baldwins for sure, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
true.
There definitely are. Yeah.
So if it's a show about bidding, is it for the Showcase Showdown of The Price is Right?
I feel like it's
That's
got
what
to be
I'm
The Price is
thinking.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's gotta be.
Because isn't the thing if you bid correctly, you can win both prizes?
The
Yeah.
price
If you're within-
closest without going over, but I think if you're within like
250, I
100,
think.
250, then you get both.
I think I've seen that once in my life, but if I was homesick from school more, I would have seen more episodes.
And there was like a whole controversy. This might be what the controversy was, where like
John,
there
did
was
your
somebody
mother
in
send you to school sick?
some guy got
Yes.
banned. Some guy got banned from The Price is Right, but he still was in the audience and he was helping somebody else who was on the Showcase Showdown bid. That might be what this documentary is about. I'm not sure. I feel like our producer is going to tell us in the chat once we're told we're right.
Yeah. All right. We'll let Pio do the honors. What's our final answer?
Come on down to The Price is Right.
Right. The Price is Right is absolutely correct.
All right. So our producer helpfully has put in the chat the full list of what I believe is the full list of weigh-ins. We got Dwayne, Keenan Ivory, Deidre, Damon, Kim, Elvira, Nadia, Devon, Sean, and Marlon, all born between 1956 and 1972.
Yeah, that's just the siblings. That's not including the parents or the next generation, such as Damon Wayans Jr., who was also in Big Hero 6, among other things.
Okay.
He's great.
I don't believe the Wayans just appeared like out of nowhere, virgin
Which is-
births.
That's only G2 of the Wayans. It's not G1 or G3.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The Wayans siblings, the next generation, was way better.
Yes.
than
So,
Degrassi.
TNG.
by the way, I was right. This documentary is, we're being told in our chat that this documentary is indeed about Ted Slauson, who spent the majority of his life memorizing the prize amounts on The Price is Right, went from bidding to banned, and then was in a 2008 Perfect Bid Showcase scandal that was covered in Esquire, Time Magazine, and others.
Can our producer tell us if Ted Slauson is heir to the Slauson Pickle Empire?
If he was, why would he spend his whole life memorizing bids? Well, maybe.
Because
Just
the
for
rich
fun,
just want to get richer, Nicole.
Capitalism. AJ, can we get another question before I get banned for inciting the left?
Banned from The Price is Right.
YouTube.
Add some songs to the Princess and the Pea fairy tale, and you get the musical Once Upon a What?
Midnight Dreary as I
Spit this
Wander-
weekend weary.
Week-
I will choke this joker with it. Sorry, that's
oh
the epic rap battle one. I don't actually know the Raven. I just know the
You know what's
epic rap battles of
exciting
history.
Is thinking, well, Edgar Allan Poe is from Boston. How
Yeah.
would you really pronounce the Raven with the Boston accent?
Raven.
Lenore!
Sorry to
Nevermore.
our Boston viewers.
No, ma, nevermore.
That sounded Jamaican name.
It sounded neither Jamaican nor Boston, but like somewhere in the
Fair.
middle.
Somewhere in the,
I was okay with this
Florida.
one.
Listen, I know better than to try accents. I keep trying and failing.
in fact, my friend Jose, another name drop of Jose here, very bad at accents. We were doing sometimes my friends and I do script reads of TV shows, and we were doing The West Wing, and he was given the character of Leo McGarry, who is a man of Chicago, and he was like, well, I want to do a Boston accent, but also a Brooklyn accent. And so he just called it Connecticut because that's sort of halfway between Boston and Brooklyn.
And also not Chicago, just to be clear, right?
Also not Chicago. He was like, he's not going to be from Chicago in my interpretation. He was very specific that he was not going to be from Chicago in his interpretation.
That's fair.
I have a lot of questions. One of them is you just hang out with your friends and do script reads.
Yeah, it's fun.
I was like, is that what the kids do these days?
That is indeed what my friends and I do. It's a thing we do. There's a Google site for TV writing, or you can just find scripts of TV shows. It's great.
That does sound
All
fun. Does somebody know the answer to this question? Because I don't.
Mattress, I believe, is the answer. Is mattress.
I think it's Once Upon a Mattress as well,
Okay.
but I'm not
Uh,
exactly sure.
The Princess and the Pea is the one where she gets insomnia because there's like a pea in the bed.
Yeah, under
Yeah.
a mattress.
Yeah.
Yeah, she couldn't
seems
sleep because
whack.
there was the mattress had too much penis associated with it.
Jesus.
It
What?
sounds like they should have just given her like what is that creepy sleep drug? They should have just given her one of those.
Ambien?
Ambien. She would have been fine.
Rufinol? Like I don't know where
I'm not sure what creepy sleep drug we're
They're
doing.
all creepy.
They're all
Fair
creepy. Fair.
Naaim, do you want to do the honors?
I believe the answer is mattress.
The answer is Once Upon a Mattress.
Yay.
Nice.
Oh, our producer is like, she's on fire today. Once Upon a Mattress was the Broadway debut of Carol Burnett, who originated the lead role, Princess Winifred, in 1959.
Oof.
So not just older than Naaim, I think older than the whole panel.
Yeah. Finally, something.
Well, Pio's an eldritch being. We established that in a previous episode.
Oh, okay, yeah. So not
But that doesn't count.
older than him in his current incarnation.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
My recent set of forged documents.
AJ, what do you got for us next?
Vegetarian pulled pork is usually made from what tree fruit that can hit 40 pounds?
There's fruit that fights back? That's it's like
If you've had this prepared wrong, it does fight back.
Oh, shit.
It's like, how do vegetarians feel about eating fruit that fights you? Does that kind of mess with the whole ethos at that point? I'm not sure.
I mean, there's a lot of foods that would fight you, a lot of animals that would fight you.
Right, but,
Yeah.
but if they're an animal, that defeats the points of being vegetarian, right? I get where you're coming from, Pio. Like, but Venus flytraps, they're not sentient, right? But like, they do fight back.
They have instincts.
You also don't eat them, but
Also,
like,
like,
I
all
don't
the
know.
poisonous things allegedly are fighting back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, if I recall, peppers are hot. Capsaicin has increased in potency because the plant is defending against fungus. So, the higher the capsaicin, the more that the fungus has to fight it. The fungus evolves, gets stronger. Capsaicin gets higher. Eventually, evolution is ruined by the University of New Mexico, and they come up with laboratory hot peppers. But
The Chili Pepper Institute is at New Mexico Tech.
no, I'm sorry.
Get your New Mexico.
Not UNM.
Sorry
I just
for
like
the
that-
interruption, everyone.
Oh. So,
Yeah,
but Pio has blamed the entire fall of evolution on New Mexico.
Yeah, the Pepper Lab. Yes.
Yeah.
This is really how The Last of Us begins.
There you go. That's a video game, Nicole, about mushrooms
Thank you.
destroying the
You
world.
know I didn't know.
I know you
Foraging
didn't know.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
I am not a vegetarian, but I do live with one. And he doesn't really like jackfruit,
Mm.
which is the answer. But
It's weird.
all the other fake meats, I think he likes more.
Yeah.
Does anybody disagree?
No, I'm pretty sure that's it. I think I've seen this product in
Yeah.
the fancy expensive store.
In the vegan aisle of Whole Paycheck. Yeah. AJ, is it jackfruit?
You're 3 for 3 so far. It is jackfruit.
We're killing it, guys.
Just wait till the next half.
Oh, I mean, we're not doing that well. Hopefully the questions stay easy.
Hopefully they're all on video games in the second half.
You guys will be good. It'll just be me that suffers. Let's get question 4.
Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle both declined the role of Carter in what 98 buddy cop movie?
Let's
I
get Carter.
own this film on Blu-ray.
Let's get Carter. It went to Sylvester Stallone, right?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
No, it was Get Shorty, right? That was
That was Travolta.
That was John Travolta.
was that John Travolta? I was about to say Danny DeVito. He's also in that one, right?
I think he is.
Okay. Is he the
Carter was
titular
Michael
Shorty?
Caine, wasn't it?
I don't. All I know is Get Shorty was then redone by the guy from the IT crowd, and I heard it was really good, but I never managed to get Chris Dowd, right?
Chris O'Dowd. Yeah.
Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah, that was on Showtime or Stars.
Something
One of the premium cable channels that I was like, this seems interesting enough, but not interesting enough for me to get Stars.
In the chat, somebody says Coach Carter.
Epics. That was on Epics. That one's even less likely for me to get. Epics? You kidding me? Come on.
Now, how many buddy cop films has Murphy been in? Because it been like, I'm thinking it's at least it must be like, there's Beverly Hills Cop, but there's also 48 Hours, right? Is there?
And there are like, are there 4 Beverly Hills Cops or 3?
I don't even know.
Golden Child was kind of a buddy cop movie.
Which one?
Golden Child.
Was he a cop in that? I remember what he wore. He had his little black hat, and he had his black gloves on, leather. He looked superhero-ish, and it was in fact a superhero-y like movie, if I recall.
You said Beverly Hills Cop, and my brain just now will not stop playing Axel F. I'm really upset.
Somehow
Anyway.
I have 2 copies of the LP.
But you know,
The soundtrack. I don't know how that happened.
But I mean, good point about that song, because 1998 is way Beverly Hills Cop was way before 98. That was
It's
an
true.
80s movie. So
Yeah.
I actually have, in thinking about, Dave Chappelle.
Come on, you don't know this one?
It's Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
Oh,
This is the film franchise that made Chris Tucker for a period of time the highest paid person in Hollywood.
Oh,
oh,
Was that
It
like
wasn't
5 or
very
10
amusing.
I hear
minutes?
you, Naaim.
Listen, it was still a period of time. He was the highest paid person in Hollywood for a couple of years. It was
Yeah.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
Like, good for him, you know? Get that bag.
yeah. All right. AJ, is it the Rush Hour franchise?
It is Rush Hour.
Nice. Oh, I used to live in LA, like 1 block away from one of the restaurants where they filmed Rush Hour. And this was like 2019. They still had like hit film Rush Hour with Jackie Chan filmed here, like outside.
that's never going away.
Get out the
That's never
building.
going away.
There was the so I always forget that Don Cheadle is in Rush Hour 2 and like speaks a decent chunk of Mandarin in that movie. It's super odd.
What can't Don Cheadle
He's amazing. Come on.
Cockney accent.
do? That's asking too much.
Well, neither can I, so I wouldn't blame him on that.
Yeah. we
Rush
can't-
Hour-
You're
was
not
the one
being
with-
paid to, GPO.
He's only human.
Rush Hour is the one with Jackie Chan, right?
Yes, Jackie
They-
Chan and Rush Hour.
And they remade
Great
that
movie.
into a series recently as well, too.
Yeah, they did. There was a TV show, Rush Hour, that lasted like 10 episodes.
Was it
Yeah,
like
it didn't do
on
quite as well as Lethal
CW
Weapon
or
did.
something, I think? I don't know.
No, I think it was on Fox.
AJ, can we get another question?
Your next question. Way before Baby Shark, Baby Beluga was a teeth-grating 1980 song by what one named singer?
Come on.
Baby Beluga.
Well, it's
Yes.
not Red Grammar. He has 2 names.
This seems like something I don't want to hear.
What if it was just what if it was
This is
just
the-
Baby
this is
Beluga?
the same
Too many
Yes.
syllables.
I know,
This is
right?
the same genius of a human being that gave us Banana Phone.
Banana phone. Okay, so that is confirmed in my mind what the answer is now.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. I was like, it's probably
There is only one human being with enough intellect and charisma to give us both songs.
Banana phone and Baby Beluga.
I mean, I was started to list off the single name singers from the 80s, and I was like, you know, Cher and Sting.
Madonna, Prince.
Madonna. The one that came up to me was like, is it Lamal, the person who sang the theme song for Neverending Story? Could this be their other hit? Yeah, Neverending Story and Baby Beluga. But I don't know. I feel like I would have known that if for sure if that were
Is-
the case.
So this is also a novelty
It's funny
single.
you mentioned Sting.
Oh, go ahead.
It's funny you mentioned Sting because his version of Baby Beluga sounds exactly like Desert Rose.
You
I'm
guys,
glad we paused for that joke.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm really glad everyone stopped and waited for it too.
I really like seeing.
My mom loved it, Eric. It's fine.
We're only here to make Pio's mom happy.
Yeah.
Pio's mom loved it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the future. After this, I'm gonna go watch Only Murders in the Building, and no spoilers because it just came out today. But what if Sing's the murderer?
I don't think Sting's the murderer, but
I'm only like
what if
4
though?
or
You're
5
right. You're right. What
episodes
if,
into
right?
it. I have a couple of catch up on.
Yeah, well, you don't see Sting again after, like, I guess the second one, but then, like, by the end, you're like, I don't know who the murderer is.
It's
That's
Chevy
'cause it's
Chase, I'm pretty sure.
Because it's a show with twists, because it's a mystery.
Yeah.
All right, somebody who knows the answer, not me. Cohen,
Not
do the
it.
honors.
Rafi.
Rafi.
That makes sense. It makes sense.
All right, we're with it. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
It is Rafi.
Hey.
Yay! We did it. And with that rousing success, it's time for our first ad break. See you back here in a few. Welcome back to Technically Correct, and specifically to our second round, Technically Incorrect. First, though, remember that you can check out Geeks Who Drink pub quizzes in bars across America just about every night, and get a quick hit of trivia on YouTube every weekday around lunchtime. Make sure you subscribe to this channel before you go so you don't miss anything. We also have a whole quiz on Twitch every Monday night, and you can even book us, that's right, us, all of us here, to do a private quiz virtually or in person. For details on all that stuff, bookmark geekswhodrink.com and follow us on the socials. Now for Technically Incorrect. In this round, the panel will still have 2 minutes to answer each question, but no more buddy-buddy teamwork. Everyone is in it for themselves. We'll be actively trying to psych each other out, and you should be too. Put your most plausible wrong answers in the chat, and we will throw them into the mix. At the end of the timer, we'll all write down our answers and show them to see who's right, by which I mean we panelists will. You all can be wrong in the privacy of your own home. AJ, please start us off.
Our first question for Technically Incorrect. It's civics class time. How many U.S. senators do you need for a quorum?
That's not fair. Nicole lives in Washington, D.C. She's at the Senate all the time.
First part is true, second part not true.
No.
The government is like, it's like living in any place where there's tourism. Like if you live in Orlando, it's not like you're at Disneyland all the time. That's what the government's like here. It's like, oh, that's over there for the tourists.
So the U.S. government is like tourism to Nicole. That's good to know.
I mean, it's just
honestly, I feel like the U.S. government is like tourism to most of the U.S. government. So,
right, it's basically a money-making endeavor.
Yeah.
Understood. Now,
So I have an answer that I think is right, and I have an answer that I think is wrong, but might be right. So I'm just going to say one of them, and who knows? It might be the wrong one. I think the number is 60. I feel like I remember. I was in civics class more recently than all of you.
Hey.
Yeah, that's right. We had civics class at our well-funded U.S. public schools. Thank you.
I went to public school. I had a U.S. government class. You guys not have a U.S. government class?
No.
I did take AP US government.
No, I had a junior year of high school. They were like, here's U.S. government. That is the class we're going to give you, and you're going to like it. And I was like, you know what? It's all right.
I also got a 5.
teacher.
I did well on US government.
Well done.
It'd be embarrassing.
Well, 60
Anyway, did I say a number? Did I say 60?
You said 60. What was your other one? I just want to write that down.
I'm not going to say it in case it's right.
Understood, I guess.
But I'll tell you, I wrote down 60.
Pio, what is your gut telling you?
So a quorum means there has to be a sufficient number of senators for a vote. So I think once you have 51, you have enough to have one of those official votes. Although, of course, they're not going to get anything done with 51 senators anyway. So it's a kind of a trick question. Like it has to be all
the filibuster
or none. Yeah, abolish the filibuster.
I'm doing my left indoctrination in the quiz tonight.
Right, and ICE should be abolished as well.
That's
Keeping it spicy. All right.
Academia indoctrinating our youth.
Whoops.
What are your answers? Oh, and I really did write 60.
You're at 60.
Well, Naaim, the price is wrong. The correct answer was 51.
That was my other answer. And I was like, I feel like that's right. And I'm going to write down 60 and feel like an idiot. But you know what? It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, 60 in practical terms is more likely because of the filibuster. So that is what you need to actually do anything.
Right. Yeah.
But
so that's why it should be abolished as well as ICE. We're indoctrinating my mother.
Good job.
DC statehood, Puerto Rico statehood, etc.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah. 750,000 people where I live don't have any representation. Just reminding you week after week. AJ, can we have another question that's less bleak for the people of the District of Columbia?
Well, we can have another question for sure. You can straight up die from eating a few crushed up cherry pits thanks to what type of poison?
Is this news to anyone else? Because I'm nervous now.
Why would you eat cherry pits?
You know, it's funny.
Wait a minute. What if they're not crushed?
I think crushed is important in part in this. And why are we giving my mother tips on how to poison people? That's what I want to know.
Our producer rightly points out that eating them crushes them.
That's not. I don't think that's true. Honestly, actually, I think if I recall, this poison, if you swallow them whole, you'll die. You'll pass them through your system before you'll absorb enough of it to to be dangerous.
I'll
But
tell you
if
what, I don't
crush
eat
them
cherry
down,
pits because I
there you
don't
go.
eat cherries, but I do eat apple seeds.
Geeks Who Drink wants to remind you that you shouldn't eat cherry pits so we don't get sued.
Yeah,
You probably shouldn't eat apple seeds either. Another
Probably
reminder from
not,
Geeks Who
but
Drink.
I don't waste any of the
Seeds.
apples. The stem, I throw the stem out, but basically
Yeah.
the rest of the apple I eat.
Is
You
this
do the
something the
thing-
youth is into? Is it Couch Guy and Apple Cores?
Yes, it is
Yeah.
couch guy and apple cores.
do you eat the apple like with the stem pointing towards your mouth? Do you do
I take
that?
I take the stem out and then
Yeah.
eat the rest of the apple.
If you eat the apple with the stem pointing at your mouth, it's very easy to eat the whole thing, like the core and all.
All right, in my house, when I moved in with my boyfriend, I have I
I love how just baffled Kohen is.
I have an apple core, and he was like, I don't believe in single-use kitchen devices. And I was like, no, but I need this apple core because why would you eat the core?
You can. That's the thing. All right, try it. Try it. Get an apple, point it at your mouth, like point the stem at your mouth, because the core is edible when it's with like flesh of the apple. When you eat it the other way, you eat all the flesh and all you're left with is the core. But when you like amortize it over the whole diameter of the apple, you can eat pretty much eat the whole thing.
So what you're saying is like if you put a little bit of stuff that tastes bad with stuff that tastes good, you won't notice the stuff that tastes bad.
The
Yes.
core of the apple tastes just like the rest of the apple.
It's just a
The
different
texture's off.
consistency.
The texture's a little bit different,
the
but not really
text-
that much.
The texture is different when you eat just the core, but when you're eating flesh of the apple and the core, listen, this is the hill I'm going to die on. This was taught
I
to me
bought a
by my
core.
mother.
I'm on Pio's
This
side
watching
here.
tonight.
Touched me as a human being.
This side of the screen agrees that you should eat the whole apple. Maybe not the seeds. I'm not
Maybe not the
advocating
seeds.
eating the seeds. I do, and I've never had a problem.
I think you should just buy a core, but that's on me.
I
What's
have
your
a
answer
core as
about
well. I'm not a
cherries?
monster.
Oh, it's the other one.
I don't know.
The correct answer is cyanide.
Oh,
Old lace. Oh, no.
yeah, that's what. I
And
was
now
thinking.
back to this episode of Apple Talk.
We're just
The question
teaching
was
people.
about cherries, but somehow
That's actually a show about iPhones.
So if you have lily of the valley, you can turn the seeds into ricin. If you
Ooh.
yeah, but I really do think it's like if you eat the seed, you'll digest it before you'll do anything with the cyanide. But when you crush it up, it's all there, and it could be more dangerous.
You guys should Google that before you attempt to eat any cherries.
What if you eat the cherry stem first?
Don't joke about this, Eric. People are going to die.
Somebody in the chat says $86 million in Apple core sales last year. Look, the people are on my side. That's what I'm saying.
There's the one guy who still sells Apple Cores.
Listen, I have 2 apple cores.
This industry's
Nicole.
going up.
Do you have this? Do you have like the stabby one, and then do you have the crank one?
No, I have the one where you push it
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of the stabby one. But there's also the crank one that peels it and cores it at the same time. That's
Oh,
pretty-
I know. I want the peel. The peel is good. It's got fiber.
Okay. Well, I mean, for
like
a pie, for a pie.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
But I
good
just
for
I just use a peeler because that way I can.
Question, do
You
you
know.
put the core in your pies?
No, that's ridiculous.
No, what are you talking
Oh,
about?
All right.
Do you think
Hold
my
on.
mother's apple pie recipe is shit?
To be-
Is that
to
what
be
you're
fair,
saying, Eric?
I core the apple, put the rest in the pie, and eat the core.
All right, that's weird, but it's
Jesus
his
Christ.
right.
Oh my God.
Thanks for coming to Baking Talk.
It is perfectly good apple. There's perfectly good apple to be eaten there.
Technically correct. Sponsored by Apple.
Not the company, the fruit.
The fruit. Brought to you by Macintosh. Once again, we're talking about the fruit.
AJ, can we get a non-fruit question?
I guess. The only permanent U.S. military base in Africa is what fun to say country near Ethiopia?
Hmm.
Now I'm like, what countries in Africa are fun to say?
I feel like I remember running this question in venue like 2 years ago.
Ooh.
Anyway, so the answer is the Gambia.
Good to know.
Gambia is fun to say.
but it's
Mozambique.
not Gambia. It's the Gambia.
The Gambia. I said the Gambia the first time.
Yeah.
Mozambique is also fun to say. Lesotho.
Yeah,
I think it's
Swaziland.
Lesotho.
Swaziland.
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 Yeah.
But that's
There's
not
a
near
linguistics
Ethiopia.
thing where in that language O's turn to U's. Lesotho.
Botswana.
Yeah. Equatorial Guinea.
Ivory Coast, right?
Cote
These are
d'Ivoire.
fun.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Cote d'Ivoire
Yeah, that's fun.
Cote d'Ivoire is more fun than Ivory
Madagascar is
Coast.
so funny to say they made a film franchise about it.
That's
true.
true.
I don't
Sasha
know if
Baron
it's
Cohen
funny,
was in them.
but the lemurs are funny, right? Is it? I don't know.
Sao Tome and Principe.
Could
I played a
this be a
geography
trick?
quiz earlier today, so it's top of mind.
Could this be a trick? Could it be Ethiopia?
Ethiopia
That would be
near Ethiopia?
Ethiopia.
Ethiopia is near Ethiopia, so
Eritrea.
Eritrea
right?
is
Ooh,
near
that's a good one.
Ethiopia. It's kind of
Or-
fun to
Now,
take a
did
train in it.
Eritrea exist when this question was written?
Eritrea's been around for like at least 30
Kidding.
years, I think.
Yes, Eritrea has been around for about the length of my life.
South
I
Sudan.
I
is the
believe
newer
I am
one,
older
right?
than Eritrea.
You're not older than South Sudan, I believe, right?
No, that's like 2008 or
Yeah,
something
that's
like
recently. You're not 12, are you, Naaim?
that. Eritrea was from 93. Naim, are you younger or older than
I was
Eritrea?
also in 93. What month in 93? I was February of 93.
Oh.
So it's close.
Yeah, it could be close.
We're gonna need month on that Eritrea
More info.
founding.
All right. What is it, guys?
Chad.
That's fun to say.
It is
Djibouti is the correct answer.
Djibouti. You guys, my uncle is U.S. military in Djibouti.
Oh.
Yep, that's where he lives now because
Are-
they have stuff over there.
Are
Chat
they
says Eritrea is
Djib-
May 24th, 1993. So I am 3 months older than Eritrea.
Nice. Well
Are
done.
they Djiboutians?
Djiboutians. Yes. Also, Wazum says it's Iswati now. Iswatini is formerly Swaziland. It's the other one.
I like Terry Pratchett's version of some of that, and his Discworld version of some of the African type inspired regions. Djibouti is the jelly baby for to honor the British heritage of his writing, jelly baby.
You know why they changed Swaziland is because they were sick of being confused with Switzerland. That's actually
That's
why.
the actual
Fair enough.
reason? I did not know that.
Wow. They're so
Yeah.
similar. I could see where there'd be that problem.
Especially for Americans, geography is not our thing, really.
Or
So,
anything really
No.
is our thing.
we have a few things, but we're not proud of them. AJ, can we get another question?
Absolutely. Running back Barry Sanders retired in 99 after 10 sad seasons carrying what NFL team?
After all this, a sports question. We're doing so good. So
Okay, I do not know the answer to this, but the only thing that I think I remember about Barry Sanders, somebody please look this up, is like, wasn't there a woman athlete named Summer Sanders? And like, weren't they like on Nickelodeon together? Because it was like cute.
I know Summer Sanders and I know she was on Nickelodeon. I don't remember Barry Sanders being on at the same time.
Or
but
my
you could
brain
be
is
right.
just.
I remember her being on with Ahmad Rashad on NBA Inside Stuff.
Oh.
Was this
But
some
she
sort
also-
of scandal?
She was also
No,
she,
they just, it was wholesome.
she also was on Figure It Out sometimes,
Yes.
right? Okay.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great because it was like a show where somebody had like a secret talent and sometimes it was impressive and sometimes it wasn't. She was on Figure It Out. No word on Barry Sanders, however. Cohen, what do you think? Do you know Barry Sanders' team?
Not at all. But I'm trying to remember now who was it that came out? What musical artist was wearing a B. Sanders jersey during the last election year, and like everyone on the right flipped the fuck out because they thought it was a Bernie Sanders shirt.
The Bernie Sanders
funny.
jersey. What color was that jersey? I might.
Now
That might
I
help
see-
you
Not
out.
gonna
okay.
help you out.
So
John.
in my
It's still
head-
the colors of football teams.
In my head, I feel like Barry Sanders wore a blue jersey Now, in the 90s, the Buffalo Bills were good enough to go to the Super Bowl, but they always lost. So I feel like it might be the Buffalo Bills.
They always walk it in.
Did you see that abomination of the Bills game?
You know what I'm thinking about? That in the Hootie and the Blowfish song, Only Want to Be With You. He says, I'm such a baby because the Dolphins make me cry, which makes me feel like maybe the Dolphins were bad in the 90s. That's what I'm going to go with.
Is that when the Marino was with them?
Damn.
So that was he was a star, I think. I know all of my to Max Miller. I know sports, but it's if it was in Joe Montana football or any of the video games, NBA Jam, I would know it. And I think I
feel like Barry Sanders might have been in Joe Montana football.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he was.
All right, show your answers, team.
The Dolphins, the Lions, Chicago, and the Lions. That is a point each for Naaim and Pio with the Detroit Lions.
The Bears.
The Bears.
No, they didn't. They didn't win in the 90s, did they? They won in the 80s. They won in 86, 85?
You know what? I'm going to personally write to Darius Rucker and tell him that I was misled by his lyrics.
How I want to be with you.
Listen, I got this question wrong because of your lyrics in the 90s. I thought because of your song, all of the meaning I gleaned from it was that the Miami Dolphins were bad at football.
I mean, I want him to take responsibility for that. He's a successful country singer now. He's not worried about me. AJ, if I'm right, I think we have one more question.
It is our final question of the evening. I'm taking my shit and moving to the moon, says Janelle Monáe in a song named for what pioneer?
Well, pioneer's a little bit of a loaded term. Our producer points out that I'm taking my shit and moving to the moon has some. They could use a comma, perhaps.
Now, my first exposure to Janelle Monáe was ages ago, and I didn't even realize it. She was at my bar mitzvah. She like randomly was in an episode of Stargate. Stargate Universe, like the third spin-off series that was very dark but not very successful. Like there was a scene where like the people like wound up at a nightclub in back on Earth, and there was just someone performing, and I know now so many years later that it was Janelle Monáe. So Janelle Monáe is in the Stargate universe, which means this could be a song about herself.
She is quite an actress. She was in Hidden Figures.
She was very good in Hidden Figures.
And then Moonlight. I think she was better in Moonlight than she was in Hidden Figures. But she was good in Hidden Figures as well.
Well, now I just want to write James Spader as the answer.
I don't know,
who
guys.
is he if not a pioneer?
It's about this.
Well, no, she was in the Stargate series, so that means Spader turned into that other guy, technically.
MacGyver, right? Spader turned into MacGyver. Is that what happened?
No,
Michael
Kurt
Shanks.
Russell turned it. Yeah, Kurt Russell turned into Richard Dean Anderson. Yeah.
I like Spader. I should finish Boston Legal. I started watching Boston Legal like 3 years ago and never finished it.
I feel like I got caught up in the shuffle of like all of these like Boston things, like Boston Legal, Boston Public, I think was a show.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
You know who lives in Boston?
And the Raven. And then the
Jose.
Raven was Edgar Allan Poe.
Lenore.
Yeah, Lenore.
All right, answers.
Sally Ride, Neil Armstrong, Sally Ride. It was Sally Ride.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
I really wanted to write Mae Jemison. It seemed wrong. Since I brought up Boston Public, I just have to say one more thing about it, which is that white guy who's problematic, who was in higher education. Y'all know his name.
No.
With Tyra Banks. Anyway, he was in Boston Public and he was like, tough Boston teacher. I'll look it up later and this will be more entertaining. But if anybody watching knows that, you know what I mean. He was the racist in that movie, Higher Education. All right. Well, I'm glad we got a Janelle Monáe question in there. That's interesting. And that is all the questions we have for this week. So we do have one thing for you to vote on. The winner of our show, AJ will pop up a poll and you can choose the panelist who you thought did the best job tonight by whatever criteria you'd like. I'd like to remind you that I did win last week, but don't let that stop you from voting for me.
I'd like to remind you that 2 people on this panel don't eat apple cores.
Right? Those
Which
of us
means
who
you
are
shouldn't vote for
normal.
them.
Listen, all you have to do is try it once and realize how much apples you've wasted over the course of your entire life.
There's so much apple you guys are leaving on the trash.
The apples are too big now. I can't do it. I don't.
Oh,
need
is it
more
Michael
apple.
Rappaport? Is that the actor?
Michael Rappaport. Thank you, Wazome.
I've seen Michael Rappaport in many things, and yet somehow he's only branded to me as a guy who talks about sports and doesn't know what he's talking about.
You should see him in Higher Education. It's pretty bad. Tyra Banks is in it. She's also pretty bad. But before we get to the popularity contest, AJ, who scored highest in the technically incorrect round?
Squeaking through tonight by the grace of his lack of melanin is Jon Pio coming out on top.
Pio, your mom will be so proud.
She will be. And everyone, trust me as a winner. Try eating the apple with the stem pointed at your mouth. You'll eat a lot of the core and not even realize it. Trust me, I'm a winner.
That seems dubious. But you can choose a winner however you like, based on your apple core preferences or whatever. Either way, we'll find out who's right after one more teeny tiny break. See you in a few. Well, here we are. I need to make a correction because the film that I was thinking of is Higher Learning, which apparently is much worse than Higher Education, though it has some famous people in it, as we found out during the break. So you can go back and check that out, audience. Remember that the fun doesn't stop when we reveal our winner. You can see everything we're up to at geekswhodrink.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. Also here on YouTube. Like us, subscribe us, please, you know what to do. Without further ado, AJ, who is the winner of our popularity contest?
With 50% of the total vote tonight, I guess it's Pio.
You guess? It's for sure Pio. This shows people support the concept of eating some, if not all, of the apple core.
I'll tell you what, Pio, I voted for you because of the apple core thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I voted for you because of, I forget. It's all a blur, really.
I don't like this apple core conspiracy solidarity.
There's no conspiracy. What conspiracy? You guys are inventing the conspiracy.
Yeah.
What happened to our guy in chat who said that he had $86 million in apple core sales? He's not voting for Nicole and I. What the hell?
Yeah, seems to have disappeared. Well, Pio, you have pulled off the rare feat of being both actually correct and technically correct. I hope your mom will be very proud.
I hope
She
so.
watches this tomorrow.
Finally, after all these years.
To the rest of you all, thanks for watching as always, and make sure you come back next time to find out if Pio is still technically correct.
Technically Correct was filmed in front of a live internet audience.